Top 10 things I want in Brawlhalla right now. Number 1. The door was right there!
New game features that offer more than just the standard limited time game mode or battle passes are some of the more fun features I like in games. You know, features that are integrated to last a long time and to be fun instead of limited time stuff that gets kind of boring.
Brawlhalla's first ever battle pass has a rock.
Clans were close to what I was thinking of, but that doesn't have enough content to warrant being fun. It's a good idea, it just doesn't have enough. And Brawlhalla updates have all fallen under the free-to-play standards. You know, the standard crossovers or battle passes that were cool at the time, just not anymore, because every single game did it. Smite did it, Rogue Company did it, Bomberman did it. Is there any other games that do it? Motherfucker. Clearly Brawlhalla needs some more features than the basic patterns of cosmetic updates and weekly challenges that repeat themselves. I am so tired of emoting on Core's platform. This is the 4th time we have emote. So content. We need more of that. I don't care for Bino. He's cool. He's not content though. You see, this new Brawlhalla content I would like in the game needs to have a good purpose. It needs to offer something that's refreshing, exciting, and maybe just a tad bit different. I'm not asking for some completely out of character addition to Brawlhalla. I just want something cool. Something either fun or competitive or both. And though it's nothing new, it would work in Brawlhalla's format. The idea I have is a Brawlhalla tournament mode. This idea is nothing new, which helps my case if anything. I feel this mode would fit perfectly into Brawlhalla. It's quite the competitive game. And it's not a shot in the dark idea. Even Foda has brought it up in a dev stream. This doesn't confirm it, but it does bring up the idea that the devs might be thinking about it.
On day 1, I mean, I was hired as the esports director, and I'm like, all right, in-game feature ideas, here we go. And I'm still waiting on a couple of them.
Yeah, go for it.
But, okay, the biggest one, and here's one I really want to tell you guys about. In-game tournaments, right? In-game tournament feature.
And one might ask why Brawlhalla needs a tournament mode. There's already official Brawlhalla tournaments and this and that. Yeah, Brawlhalla already has official tournaments through Start.gg, but if they make it an actual feature instead of a third-party function, there could be a lot more cool stuff with it. And personally, I have a ton of ideas for the mode, and I'm gonna share them with you. Let's first start off with the incentive, and we're only starting off with the rewards because every other point I have to make has to do something with the rewards. The prizes for standard Brawlhalla tournaments are cash money. That's pretty good. So we gotta keep that in the prizes, of course. The prizes for standard community tournaments are sometimes cash money, but most of the time are Brawlhalla items. That's also pretty good. We should also put that in the reward system. We can only have so much cash money in Brawlhalla items that we can't give it to all the top places. A lot of players who place pretty high up don't actually earn anything, not even glory from the audience. Some people don't even think top 48 in official Brawlhalla tournaments are that good. I think it's pretty good. And they don't really get anything from the community nor any prizes. And that kind of sucks because they worked really hard to get in that top place and they don't really get anything for it. Now if Brawlhalla adds in-game rewards, they can give those players an actual reward. Even if it is an in-game item, it's still something. With in-game rewards, they can not only give out more rewards to more places, but they can also give more of a reason for lower level players to play in tournaments. Cash money prizes are only given at the tippity top, meaning that a lot of players that are in casual levels only play in tournaments to hope to do better. To have more rewards just for casually entering a tournament or placing even semi-good would add a lot more reason to play in these Brawlhalla tournaments. Now they can be really boring with it and hand out like gold or glory, which wouldn't suck, but it would still be pretty boring. Gold is practically useless nowadays and glory is... it wouldn't be bad, but a lot of people don't like it anymore. They could add a tournament currency for a tournament shop. This is kind of the ideal reward system I have. This way, almost every single type of player has fun with it, where competitive players have something to show for their work, and collectors have more reason to play in a lot of tournaments, and for new players to actually customize their rather dull inventories. I feel this system would increase players in tournaments, and have a lot more bigger tournaments for not only standard Brawlhalla tournaments, but for community tournaments. Which leads me to the next point. I think I said tournament too much. Now onto the actual tournament system. So say, yeah, they did add an actual tournament mode to the game. This makes tournaments a lot more easier to make. For example, you can have a tournament every week. Now the prizes for these smaller tournaments shouldn't be as big as some of the bigger tournaments or the seasonal champs, but make them big enough for people to care. Then maybe every few weeks have some bigger tournaments with some bigger rewards. And along with them, there can even be the seasonal champs. With this system, it allows tournaments to be more consistent, but not everyday consistent. Unless you were doing something different with them every day, people are going to get pretty tired of them. Alongside these standard tournaments, there can also be extra game mode tournaments, like Brawl Ball or Kung Fu. A lot like the seasonal ranked mode, the whole purpose was to bring light to these side modes and its competitive scene. It was supposed to not only allow these side modes to be played more, but help its sub-communities grow. It didn't work out so well, so to have these public tournaments that are easy to enter and have rewards should help it a bunch, I feel. So now people who like these modes have a better reason to get better at them and grind. And for outsiders to either enter the meta for these modes or just have fun. That also got me thinking of tournament mode specific rewards, like specific titles for playing in these game modes. You can also hand these out for winning and grinding these tournaments. And if titles and avatars are a little too much, make something new, like a trophy case or a medal collection, so that every tournament has your record stats on it when you played and you have something to show for your work. Along with this, community tournaments should be able to get made through this system. And I feel if these community tournaments are big enough, they should be able to get placed in front of the tournament's menu, which I'll get to. And having this tournament creation system, you should also be able to browse through these user-created tournaments. So if streamers want to make some tournaments just for some fun, it can easily be made. Or for some people to make some crazy insane tournaments with some wacky rules, I think this will be a really fun feature. Alongside this tournament creation system, it would also help community tournament organizers grow their scene. You see, all the way tucked in the back of the UI is actually a community tournament board, and I doubt a lot of people know about it because you actually have to go below the news, and then even once you're there, you're not even where the community tab is. It's a very helpful board, but it is tucked so far back in the UI. I feel having this would be a lot more easier, so people can enter these community tournaments with a lot more ease. And if you want to, you can even have the runners of these tourneys place their own rewards. Let's say they got like 3,000 mammoth coins in their account. They can easily enter that into the tournament. So now there's even a bigger reason to enter these tournaments. And with that, it grows the scene. Maybe that's a little too big of an idea, but I mean, come on. If you have the system integrated in the game, you could really go all out for it and help your community a bunch. Now we have all of this laid out. What is the UI gonna be like? Because that's probably gonna be the most important part about this. Because, well, this is a ease of access type of update, we're gonna call it. The whole reason for this update is to not only integrate extra features into the game, but create easier access to these tournaments. So this UI needs to be nice and clean and user-friendly. And it should give enough information, because there's a bunch of things in Brawlhalla that they don't explain to you. A lot of new players don't even know they have glory in their inventory. Now, imagine the UI for this. I faint when I think about it. So nice, so beautiful. You can even add timers on the side of the UI on the main menu for more ease of use. So if tournaments are coming up, you can actually see it without actually having to boot up the menu. You should also be able to see your tournament stats overall. How many tournaments you entered, won, and what type of stuff you got for playing in them. The UI isn't that big of a deal, it's just, it would be really cool to actually have some really cool stuff with it. Its organization could add a lot to it, and adding a way to look at stats would be pretty cool. Now, one thing I was thinking about the entire time of writing this was how power rankings would work. I don't have a full understanding how they work, but from what I know, you play in certain tournaments, and based off your performance in those tournaments, it will decide your power ranking, and that will decide your seeds in future tournaments and mainly BCX. And so if that's the case, should power rankings really count for every single small tournament? I feel no. For a lot of the smaller tournaments, power rankings should not actually be in effect. They should only be in effect with bigger tournaments or seasonal champs. Other than that, I don't see any other reason to actually include power rankings. And the final thing I think would be really cool is a leaderboard for the tournaments. I want a leaderboard that tracks almost everything you do in tournaments. I feel having these leaderboards will actually inspire players to actually play in a lot more tournaments. Not only should you be able to see global leaderboards with some of the top, but you should also be able to compete against your friends. This could have a lot of cool stuff with it. And again, it would also help the side game mode community. A bunch of ideas I just spilled right there, but I think you get my point. Anyways, this was just a huge nerd spiel. I've had this idea for a very long time, and I'm glad I'm able to lay it out. There's still a bunch of more things we could add, but in terms of a video, I don't think it needs all of that. Already this video has been taking forever, especially the audio. That's probably going to be the most frustrating part about this is the audio, which apologies if you do notice the audio kind of changing in terms of me, because you can kind of hear the quality switch from here and then. And I tried my best to match the audio when re-recording some lines, but it is impossible to do. I've tried my best and some lines just fit perfectly, while others stick out like a sore thumb. So please forgive me on that. But anyways, thanks. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I put as much time as I could into it. Again, it took forever, but it's done. And I'm glad you watched it. The next video is definitely not going to be Brawlhalla. It's going to be another hiatus collection with me and my homies, but the video after that will be a Brawlhalla video. So you're just going to have to wait a little bit longer if you want some more Brawlhalla content. Until then though, once again, thank you so much. I'm going to go, like, rest. This has taken so much out of me. Best to you all.